Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Tuesday, October the 15th, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary video brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. Again, if you have not been to the website yet, go check it out. There's a lot of free information on the site for you all. At the same time, if you're interested in joining our proprietary trading firm or our trading group, you can also submit your resume or contact me at ccooper at wallstreettrading.com. You can also submit your resume on the website or contact us via the website access there. Um, Aside from that, let's go ahead and break down these markets. We had the S&P 500 down 12 points. We had the Nasdaq down 21 points, and we had the Dow Jones down 133 points. If we take a look at the breadth on the market, we had 4,680 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the MX. We had 1,656 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the MX. Therefore, you can see breadth here was in favor of the bears today, close to a 4-to-1. And we had some decent market volatility today. Action was back and forth across the board. It was not a easy day to trade, but there are definitely some shining spots in the market here, and we'll talk about those here shortly. But let's go ahead and break down the charts again. Starting off with the SPY, we were down $1.24 here. This is the S&P 500 ETF. You can see we're having some trouble trying to break over this 171 level. That 171 level is acting as resistance from this last pivot high that we had right back here on August the 5th, and you can see how it's acting as resistance right now. Again, from the sell-off that we had last week that reversed on Wednesday to this big move up, we have come a long way pretty fast. Again, it's all around these little headline rumors from Washington about a deal being put together, a deal not, extension, this and that. And these clowns over there have not been able to get together and put something together yet. And now we're getting close to the meltdown time as we have I think like a day left, right? We have till Thursday midnight, I believe it is. Either way, the key level you want to watch going into tomorrow on the S&P via the SPY ETF here is this 171 level. We could break above 171 and hold. We have this nice little gap fill action over here of around 172 quarter or so. However, if we do not break above 171 and we have the selling pressure that came in the market today continue tomorrow, you want to be looking out for yesterday's lows around 169. We break below 169. We have some minor support, say around 168.75, and then we really don't have much support until all the way back down to say maybe gap fill is 167.46 area. Why is that? Because this was so much of a fast move up that there was really no support building action going on in here. There was no consolidation or nothing. And take a look at the 60-minute chart. Most of the upside action we had from those lows was a pretty smooth move up. So you can see it could be a pretty smooth move right back down. And actually, we already broke the uptrend line. You take this little gap up right here, take that low, and draw this little trend line in right here. And you can see why we had that selling pressure that came in the afternoon, because we broke this little short-term uptrend line that we have right here on the 60-minute chart of the SPY. If you take a look at my ES chart on the left-hand side here, that I'm going to zoom in for you guys, you can see we had a little doji signal right there. They rallied the markets up, and now we come a long way pretty fast. Look, we even closed on the highs on Friday, gapped down Sunday overnight because there was the meeting that they had on Saturday broke down, and they weren't able to come to some type of agreement. Therefore, the next day, Sunday, the markets gapped down, and they rallied it all the way up, squeezed out those early shorts that were probably looking to get short down here on the failed deal, squeezed them out, and now's the day we have some selling pressure. And again, we're going to be keeping a close eye on this 1705, 1700 level on the ES, on the S&P 500 futures. Let's go ahead and take a look at the triple Qs. They were down 31 cents today. They didn't make new 52-week highs, as you can see here. However, we did a little picky-boo high, and we closed right below that resistance level. This could be a little short-term top and tail that could signal some more, a little selling pressure to come. If not, if we get a break and hold above, say, 79.80 or better yet over today's highs, around 80.12, we should continue to see some more upside action and have those buyers continue to buy this volatile market action that we're getting here. IWM showed some relative weakness today. This was down over 1%, was able to rally back a little bit, but it still showed some relative weakness to the other indices here. You can see we have an inside day as inside sell day. You can see Friday's, I'm sorry, not Friday, but Monday's action, yesterday's action is still, well, sorry, today's action is still inside of yesterday's action. So therefore, we're setting up a good little momentum trade here, whether it be to the downside or if they put some deal together to be to the upside. We have this little back and forth tug of war action going on right now between the Bulls and the Bears in the Russell 2000. But yesterday, the Russell 2000 made new all-time highs, believe it or not. This action we have going on right now. If you take a look at the VIX, the volatility index is definitely all over the place today. I mean, last week Wednesday, we were trading. We hit a high of 21.34. Then this week, later on in the week on Friday, we were trading as a low of 15 and a half, and now we're back at 18.66. So we're definitely seeing some of this volatility creep up here. One thing that I noticed that's pretty interesting is we have a little trend line breakout right here. This is our trend line break. We had a little pullback. Our back test actually held a resistance, prior resistance, broke out, so now support. That back test actually held, and guess what? We're moving back up. So this could be, signaling that we're going to actually be putting in a higher low that's going to hold at this 1525. So now we have a low right here. We have a higher pivot low right here. And if this breaks out and makes a new high, then we could say that the VIX is officially in a nice potential uptrend here. And we could expect some volatility to pick up, which will make for some interesting trading if you're trading this intraday action. And if you're not trading the intraday action and you're just watching or taking the portfolio approach, excuse me, you'll pretty sure I'm pretty sure it's going to have your head spinning once this volatility starts to pick up. If we do start to maintain above, say, the 19 and $20 mark on the VIX. So keep that on your watch list. Make sure you keep an eye on that volatility index. There's definitely some fear or some uncertainty that's starting to creep into the market. So people are definitely protecting their long positions. Let's see what else we have going on here. Gold. Let's take a look at the gold here. Gold was up a little bit today. Really hasn't caught that strong bid that most people are looking for. It did do a little bottoming tail right here. It snapped below this 1271 level. It actually broke below Friday's lows around 1260, made new lows, and reversed back up. This could be a little shakeout action right here, guys. We could look for some gold to possibly get a nice move up tomorrow. So keep an eye on that here. And we also have this key little trend line that you could draw in right there and use that as a gauge for a short-term break of this little downtrend that we've been in since, say, mid-August, early September. All right, so gold is looking a little bit interesting. Again, we need some more we need some more clues of strength to show us that it wants to possibly make a nice little bounce to the top side. Take a look at the GDX. The GDX and the GDXJ, the junior gold miners, they were actually showing some nice strength today. They maintained near the top of the change from open ETF list that we track intraday for most of the day here. So definitely keep an eye on this sector. Have a nice engulfing candle here in the gold miners that engulfed the prior 2 days. This could be a little short-term bottom per se, and you want to make sure you keep an eye on this little downtrend line right here. If we get a break over today's highs in the GDX, those gold names may start to make a move to the top side for a little short-term bounce, as they have been getting beaten down. And we have been seeing some action coming back into some of the basic material stocks and some of the metals and the miners. But you can take a look at Newmont Mining, same pattern engulfing right here. It has two more weeks till earnings come out, till they had the earnings coming out there. So keep an eye on the Newmont Mining. Let's see, ABX. Nice little bounce here today as well. These charts still have a lot of technical damage on them, but again, they are trying to bounce. They did get a nice little bounce today across the board as we had some money inflow into these names here. So keep an eye on that sector. GDX, GDXJ, gold miners. What else I want to take a look at here? Crude oil. All right, crude oil was down $1.41 today. We continue to see some weakness or some weakness in crude oil. Again, the key level that I'm going to be watching again with my group of traders will be around the 98 level. We have resistance at 104, and it looks like we want to give up this 101 handle. But 98 is going to be a decent level. Those prior resistance back here earlier in the year, and we broke out, so it should act as support. So there's definitely, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some buy orders sitting down in this little pocket area down here, looking for some dips on this little opportunity that we have that looks like it wants to come down there. So keep an eye on crude oil. $98 down there does look like a good area to start nibbling on some long on the crude. What else here? So let's go and talk about some stocks. All right, technology sector showed a little bit of relative strength. They gave back around, started giving back some of that action around 11:30, 12 o'clock today when the market started selling off a bit. But Apple, nice little bounce up today. It was up 0.5%. Did make a high of 502, but closed at 498. Looks like this thing wants to run up going into the earnings, which are out near the end of the month here. Could run up into this resistance level here around 510. Again, that's about $12 away or so there from today's closing price. Keep an eye on that stock there. Amazon, again, this stock was showing relative strength a couple weeks back. Has sold off and has now got to bounce back up towards this 311 area. If it could get back above this 312 area, would be looking for this thing to make a move back up towards 320. Again, if there's some type of deal that gets done in the markets, go back up and make new highs. Make sure you keep an eye on Amazon back over 312. This thing should make a nice fast move up towards 320 because we have a low and we have a slightly higher pivot low, so it is in a little short-term uptrend on the smaller time frame, and of course on the bigger time frame it's on an uptrend as well here. So keep an eye on this Amazon name. Again, it needs to get back over 312 or so. If it doesn't, they may try to knock it all the way back down towards these lows down here around 295. They have earnings coming out on the 24th of this month. Let's see what else. What other action we have going on here? Again, the basic material stock guys. These stocks are moving. We've been talking about these stocks in our chat room. If you have not been to our chat room yet, it's mywallstreet.com. Talked about U.S. Steel this morning. Take a look at this move here. U.S. Steel up 5.25%. Awesome move there. If that stock's moving, you want to make sure you take a look at AKS, which is moving back up. They have earnings out next week. You want to make sure you take a look at CLF. This one's trading at obviously it's trading weaker than U.S. Steel, but again, if the whole sector moves, these stocks may try to catch a bid. Again, we're seeing a lot of money starting to slowly creep into some of these basic material stocks, which have been getting beaten down for quite a while. What else here? But WLT, another coal stock that we've been keeping track of here, actually got some players in this today around 15. We weren't able to catch it around the open, but we did catch it say around 1560 and rode it up to all the way to 1590. Some people rode up to 1560 to collect some nice change on that here, but there's a nice little pattern here. They have earnings coming out on November the 4th, but they have a nice little W pattern here, guys. If you see it, here's your left leg up move, right leg up move. There's your double bottom W pattern with a little pullback, higher pivot low. Gave us a clue the uptrend was going to start coming. The uptrend came, and then now we're trading sideways with a break out of the range that I have marked here with this yellow shaded area. Nice close above this whole little pocket area right here. And we should be looking for this to make a move over this 1650. It actually traded above this little pivot high right here, but it sold off a little bit as the market came in for the day. But over today's highs, again, this thing has a lot of room to run here. Again, you have a nice little W pattern right here. And the measured move from this W pattern alone should take it up towards, I would say, up towards 18, 19, maybe even 20 as you have the low of here around 10, the W pattern here coming in around say 14 or 15. So I'll add the $5 or $4 to that 15 level, and you have a price target off the pattern measured move that is, guys, around 19 and $20. So this stock does look good. You also see the volume trend starting to show some characteristics of some nice accumulation going on here. So keep an eye on it. Nice close above 15. It's expected to go higher. Another strong coal stock that has been trading pretty well is CNX. CNX moving to the top side. This one's come a long way, so it may need to consolidate a bit here and wait for the moving averages to catch up a little bit, but looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and talk about the home builders. Remember, that sector did lead the markets up a little bit here early in the year. They have now been floundering around the place here, not really trading that well. Toll Brothers looking to move to the downside. Looks like if Toll starts to trade below $30 and hold below that level, it could get some nice little selling pressure. They were weak today. KBH, this one looks like it wants to move lower. If this one moves below 16, this could get some nice little selling pressure. If it breaks below 16 and holds there, and then you have Lennar you could take a look at. These are kind of like the main three ones that I usually watch. Lennar, it's not looking too good. This sector was strong earlier in the year, and now, of course, since around June, I could say they started moving to the downside, not really been trading that well. Uh, Financials, XLF, it's trying to get some action here. Again, this thing had a nice little rally all the way from 1950 to a high of $20 and say 50 cents in this area. And we have to keep a close eye on it here. A little inside day of yesterday's action, but we do have a high We do have a lower high, and we do have a possible lower high that could be setting up around this area. That's why we have to watch it right here. And we have a low and a little slightly higher low right here. So a little bit of a little wide tight pattern going on there. So keep an eye on the sector. The best way to read, of course, will be looking at the individual stocks and their technical analysis on their names, those names there, and you can see here Goldman Sachs, nice little channel range, got a nice little bounce near the bottom of the range here, bounced up, and now could be putting in a lower high right here versus these highs for a move back down to the bottom of the channel, possibly a break. So keep an eye on that. If we get back over 160, then it'll be business as usual, and we'll be making a move back up towards the top of the range. Keep in mind they do have earnings coming out on the 17th before the market opens, which is, I believe, Thursday. All right. See, JP Morgan, this stock has been a piece of garbage. Has been showing relative weakness to the other financial stocks. We do have a key trend line here that I'm watching. If we break over 53 and hold, then we can make a move up towards 54, as we'll have this little pocket to work off of right here. However, if we don't break over 53, we can make a move right back to the downside. I would say back down towards this little gap area right here, back down towards 51 or so. Either way, the financials have not been trading well. If you've been looking for them to trade to the top side, they've pretty much been chopping all over the place and moving on the headline news, as well as everything else has been doing lately with this whole government shutdown fiasco that we have going on right now. Giving us great volatility, but giving us some choppy intraday action sometimes as well. What else? What else do I want to talk about here with you guys real quick? Yes, the financials are weak. Technology is looking a little bit mixed. Um, let's see. And that's about it, folks. I mean, I'm not really seeing much action out there. All right, we did see Netflix jump up $9 yesterday and traded pretty well. Had a little pause day today. They have earnings coming out on Monday, so keep an eye on this name. Possibly to trade higher going into the earnings. Again, it's still holding above the 50% range of yesterday's actions. So that still looks pretty good. Some other momentum names: Tesla. Nice little gap up today. Was not able to close on its highs, but it did gap up and hold some of its gains. So it was still up $2. It was still up 2.25%, up $4.22 here. What are some other names? GMCR, this has been a weak stock. This one continues to roll over. Keep an eye on this name, guys. It's sitting right on top of the 200-day moving averages. This thing breaks below 63. This thing could be a goner. We do have gap fill action all the way down here at $59.40. Okay, so there's definitely still some more uh, selling pressure that could be expected in this name. Aside from that, folks, that's about it. We'll have some more ideas tomorrow in our live trading room. Make sure you come check us out, mywallstreettv.com. Password to log in is smart. Have a great day, folks. Cheers.